Hello, Evolutionary Astrologer Bryan Colter here for your horoscope report for the upcoming Aquarius full moon that happens on August 3rd. And although that's the technical date, I'll really be discussing the energy of the next 2 weeks and even hinting at the whole month of August because it is really heating up. And I don't mean just because it's summer in the northern hemisphere. And gosh, it sure has been hot. But things are heating up. Really, they have been since the planet Mars entered its own sign in Aries, which it'll be for the rest of the year. I can't help but talk about it in every single video because it's really the background. And all the other astrology I talk about, there'll always be that Mars present. So it's important to keep on working with it. And it is about warrior energy. Mars, the war god, in its own sign of the warrior. It's currently in a square aspect to Jupiter, to Pluto, also loosely to Saturn. And that's why August is going to be pretty intense, because as the month goes by, Mars will continue to move forward and come into a tighter, hard angle, that square to Saturn. They're both known as the malefics in astrology, and when they come together in the sky, especially through a square like they are now, this event is really dreaded by many astrologers. But of course, I'll talk about the negative potentials, which tend to be more obvious with these two planets. But just like anything in life, in this reality between light and dark, everything has a high end, a high meaning, some sort of evolutionary path that will accelerate our growth and evolution. And then, of course, we can suck at it as well. And through the square, the suckiness tends to be emphasized. However, there's always a higher road. And really, the extremities of the polarity between these symbols, which I'll talk about in a second, is really emphasized here, not just because of those two planets I talked about, but because of also the Jupiter and the Pluto involved. Jupiter is the king of the gods. It represents expansiveness. It's about taking up some space. And here it is in the sky next to Pluto, the god of hell. Wherever Pluto touches creates more extremes. So although there's always a polarity, we're seeing the opposite ends of the spectrum, that all the way to the darkest, most evil, to the most enlightened. So this cocktail of planets, intensity, expansiveness, and extremes is the words I use here. So I'll get to the Aquarian moon here in a second, but let's talk about Mars yet again. The headliner, center stage. It's not really center stage, it's more in the background, the backdrop. So let's use that imagery for a little bit. Okay, so imagine you're looking at a backdrop, maybe like a mural in the back of a set or a stage or something. And it's a beautiful painting, and you see a bunch of people on it, basically. On the right side of the mural, you see a bunch of people exhibiting high-end Mars energy, okay? Virtuous behavior, higher levels of consciousness. On the opposite side of the mural, you see the worst of the worst. And what you see on the lower spectrum of potentials with Mars, especially when it's interacting with Saturn like it is now, is fear. People very scared. You also see a lot of anger. People fighting. Mars is the planet of conflict, of war, of abuse, of hatred. In the most extreme cases, off to the very far end of the mural, you see people killing each other, Now, I'm not predicting war here. We'll talk about that word war in a second, and what I think that means now. But okay, sure, we might see killing happens. It's part of human reality, and we might see a little bit more of that just because the Mars energy is so heated, especially when it's in a square to those three planets I mentioned. Okay, but that's not really where I want to focus my attention. I'm not trying to scare people. Again, I don't think it's going to be all-out war, more a war of ideas. But we can see all these emotions, okay, that are people that are hurt, are scared, and basically are defending themselves in a way that doesn't really help. It's only causing more pain and suffering in the world, more suffering in their own world, and more suffering in the lives of other people around them. Like attracts like. So if you're experiencing fear and anger emotions, you're just going to attract more of that. You're going to strengthen that energy. And then on the right side of the mural, you see people standing up strong, representing personal power, discipline, emotional discipline too, okay, courage, bravery, focus, assertiveness, people who are sovereign beings, who take action and don't fall into the trap of reactive behavior. They're presently in the moment. They're actively engaged, and they protect themselves. That's the warrior energy, the protector. And they also protect other people who they love and who can't protect themselves. It's the hero archetype. Okay? So imagine, you see people on the mural like somebody's saving a dog who's about to drown in a river, or some literal warrior slinging his buddy over his back, running through machine gun fire, stuff like this. Tremendous feats of strength, both physical and emotional. So with Pluto and Jupiter in the mix, emphasizing the extremes of this juxtaposition of energy along this scale of Mars energy, we're going to see a lot of behavior on either end. Now, the question becomes, which will you exhibit, or I exhibit? Of course. And that is leveraging the superpower that is our free will and focused intent. And the low potential, which will be very compelling this month and really the next 6 months. But August is really, in my opinion, the most heated coming up. There's going to be a lot of people that fall into the trap of the fear and anger stuff. And as I said, it's not going to be, I don't think, a literal war, okay, but a war of ideas, a war of dogmas. And I've talked about that in other videos. That's where you can tie in the nodes of the moon: Sagittarius, South Node; Gemini, North Node. Dark side Sagittarius is fixed set of ideologies and belief systems, dogma. And because of those fervent beliefs in that illusion, basically, okay, there's a lot of truth in most people's beliefs, I'm sure, but, we don't really know, what's going on. But a lot of people think they know what's going on, and people armed and dangerous with this Mars energy will be trying to really launch their belief systems onto other people, okay? And of course, that's never going to work. It's just going to cause more reactivity and defensiveness to other people. So don't fall into the trap of this competitive impulse of Mars in this sort of tribal warfare, in terms of warfare of ideas and beliefs. Allow me to recommend what's behind door number 2, the right side of the mural. High in Mars. This next 6 months is about developing more courage and strength and personal power. Because we need to, because of what we're in now, of course. There's a lot to be frustrated with. There's a lot to be scared about. And this last half of the year is going to be intense. But the highest road of working with this 6 months is just becoming much stronger people. And there's many ways of doing that. Do any activities that stimulate your inner warrior. I'm very optimistic about the human future, but I've been saying it for over a decade. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and we're in this period of it getting worse right now. So instead of dipping into the lower subset potentials, okay, of Mars, fear and anger, and take that frustration that we all feel, okay, because we know we can do better. Take that frustration. It's there. We know it's there. But aim it towards this direction that propels you towards a raising of your consciousness as you develop more power. Now, we can aim this warrior energy even more precisely by tying in the full moon in Aquarius. It's like, okay, where do I need to aim this warrior energy for my own betterment and evolution? So now we tie in the archetype of the rebel with Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is so strong right now, not just because the full moon's in Aquarius, but because the planet that's said to rule it, Uranus, at least one of the planets, the modern rulership, is in a square aspect to the moon itself. So it's almost like we got 2 votes for Aquarius here. Really, really strong. So the interplay between the warrior and the rebel, how we become stronger and more courageous is basically through a truer expression of self. That's the high road. But in terms of just being aggressively rebellious, are we seeing some of that on the planet right now? And of course, it's people who are feeling this way feel justified, righteous indignation. And of course, are we all feeling frustrations on the planet? Most of us, yes, because we know we're capable of so much more. There's a lot of frustration and a lot of fear and a lot of anger. So we want to have a moment of compassion and understanding why some people are manifesting the darker side of the coin. And of course, again, like attracts like. So they're just fueling the fire. So the rebel kind of turned rancid or sour. And of course, creating more rebellious energy and just feeding that, stoking that fire. The higher road, as we contemplate evolutionary astrology, it's like, how can I put my personal growth and evolution into hyperdrive by using the energy that's filtering through us in a more positive, evolved way? You're attempting to become the inner rebel, which is following the path of individuality, going through a process of individuation. Fancy word, means becoming a truer version of yourself. Now, there's going to be more to say about that in a second. Let's tie in Leo. Leo has kind of been left pending here because we got to remember Aquarius full moon. What makes it a full moon is it's opposite the sun. And Aquarius and Leo are opposite signs. So we have this polarity stimulated here. So as we contemplate the energy of Leo for a second, okay, just the symbolism of it, it's known as the king of the beasts, reference to the lion. So king energy. And of course, the other planet that has the word king in it, king of the gods, Jupiter, is stimulated now too through the Mars square Jupiter, almost exactly square. So king energy emphasized here. This makes me think of the idea of privilege. Now, imagine living a privileged life. Imagine the complications that would be inherent in living that sort of lifestyle. Lifetimes like that are fraught with expectations about what is proper behavior. Lifetimes like that, these people are constantly being groomed, whether it's by culture or family or both, being groomed to be something, whatever. And then we go back to Aquarius. And Aquarius, the rebel's like, I don't want to conform to your expectations. I'm not going to be your dancing monkey. I'm going to be true to myself, my own values. And be strong in those values and not get sucked up into any interpersonal drama and resist the coercions of culture and family. If you like me, that's great. If not, that's interesting. I am who I am, That's a healthy Aquarian statement. We're all trying to kind of tap into a little bit more of that spirit. I am who I am. Now, the complication here is that many of us, I'll even dare to say most of us, myself included, don't really know who we are. We have a good idea of who we are, of course. But we have this kind of interesting blend in our personalities, in our psyches, of our acquired personality, which is basically a summation of outside influence, what we've learned from culture and family and the larger framework of history and our environment, the part of us that's not really us. And then we have our soul personality, the part of you that is you, the part of you that's been evolving over lifetimes. And here they are, kind of merging together in our inner world. And we can't really tell the difference between the two. Some of us can more than others. So that's what the path of individuality is about. That's what is becoming a rebel, is kind of understanding who we really are and who we've learned to be and who we've been trained to be, what we've been groomed into, now expresses itself through our egoism. All the negative subset of thoughts, emotions, intentions, desires, that is only part of this dense reality here on planet Earth, the duality between light and dark. That's not like that up in the spirit world, our true home. And then we come down here and we learn it. And us sorting out the dark from the light is how we grow. This is a school. Yeah. And there's a lot of dark right now, extreme between light and dark. And how you reach the high end, how you individuate, how you become a truer version of yourself is strive for that more virtuous behavior, because that more virtuous behavior, everything that stems from love and light is an extension of our soul personality, because we come from love and light. And all the fear-based stuff, all the egoic expressions are just dirty garments that cover the purity of our soul life light. If you like me, that's great. If not, that's interesting. I am who I am, and I resolve to know who I am. That's the evolutionary intention, with the goal always being to expand our consciousness. Now I'm going to transition in, as usual, into the meditation. And this meditation will sink you into a deep relaxation so you can leverage the language of the subconscious mind, which is imagery and visualization, so that we can tap into this Aquarian energy and do a little bit of a self-exploration to become a truer version of ourselves. Also, as usual, I recommend using headphones because I use a technology called binaural beats. Enjoy. Sit in a nice, comfortable position with a straight spine and beginning to breathe deeply into your stomach now. Nice, slow, deep belly breaths and nice, slow exhale. Inhale to the belly and then the lungs. And then exhale first from the belly and then the lungs. In, out. Nice rhythmic breathing. Make sure there's no pause between the inhale and the exhale. Make it nice and fluid. And slow down your breath a little bit more. Make it 4 counts on the inhale and a 4 count on the exhale. Nice and relaxing breath. And as you inhale, feel the tissues of your body expand out. And as you exhale, feel them come back to normal shape and size. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring your attention down to both of your feet at the same time. Feel your feet. Feel where they're touching the ground. And start to visualize a beautiful white color in both of your feet. A pure snow white color. And now bring this snow white color up past the feet into the ankles. Now your feet and both your ankles are that white color. And the white color continues to move up into the calf muscle. Relaxing all the tissues in your lower legs. Now up into the knee area of both legs. Continue with the slow, rhythmic breathing as you visualize the white color in your lower legs. Now bring the color up into both of the thighs. Each time you inhale, see the white color grow brighter and brighter. Now up into the hips. And now focus on both of your legs. And see both of your legs with this brilliant white color. Now bring your attention up into your abdomen area and change the color into a sky blue. Visualize a sky blue sun in your stomach and solar plexus. Shining brightly in all directions. And as you inhale, see the sky blue sun grow brighter and brighter. And as you exhale, see this blue color spread throughout your entire body, relaxing every cell of your body. Brighter as you inhale, spread out through the body as you exhale. Feel all the stress in your body leave as you exhale. In, out. And take a moment to wish health in your physical body. The vehicle for your soul. What a precious gift. Now move your attention up into your chest area and visualize rosy pink color in and around your chest. Don't focus on your heart, just your entire chest area as you visualize this pink color. Visualize it as a pink sun in and around your chest. Feel all your emotions and desires relax. In, out. Start to feel love for yourself. Honoring your journey. You've done the best you can. You've grown so much. Feel the compassion for yourself. And now extend that compassion out to other people. See the pink color grow brighter and brighter. Now move your attention up to your head area now. And visualize a canary yellow sun in and around your head. Shining in all directions. Your thoughts and intentions are relaxing. All that's available to you is creative thoughts. See the sun grow brighter as you inhale, and see the canary yellow ripple out in all directions as you exhale. In, out. Now I want you to bring your consciousness above your body and visualize you're looking down on your body from above you. Maybe from the ceiling of your room. And see it rise higher into the sky through the building you're in. And above the building, higher, higher. Looking down on your country now. Still higher. Up into the atmosphere. And out into space. Flying by all the planets. And you turn around to look at Earth, contemplate Earth, and you just see it as a pale blue dot. And you're going deeper out into space now. Now visualize a special place. A special place just for you and God, or the Great Spirit. A place for you to commune with the divine. It can be some sort of temple building, some sort of geometric building. It can be out in nature, just you and the trees. It can be out in a cabin in the woods. Create some sacred place in your mind for you to do this deep exploration. Visualize this place with as much detail as you can. What does it look like? What are you hearing? Maybe some melody in the background. What are you smelling? Maybe there's some incense burning or something. Start to feel the indescribable joy of being in your sanctuary. It's just you and the divine in your sacred space. Who are you? Forget your name. Forget your gender. Ask yourself, I am a living being, but what am I as life? I am I. But I want to know my I-ness. Want to know what my I-ness really is. I find my divine nature, my I-ness, It's now covered with a name, thoughts, emotions, and this body. But now I want to find my I-ness, my real self, the I am, which is far beyond these dense dimensions of reality. And now, as a personality, I want to feel this I am within. Now complete the circle and say, I am I. But what am I? This feeling of just being. Just try to understand what you are at this moment. I feel I'm in a material body. Being in your body, you possess something more valuable than anything material around you. Now I feel being in my body from head to toe. I have a perfectly healthy body. I want strength, health, wholeness, and courage in my material body. Breathe deeply and feel your heart center. Simply feel your heart. And say silently to yourself, I want all my emotions and desires to be under my control. I want all my emotions composing my personality to calm down. I want them to calm down so I will be able to shape, control them, and use them more consciously. And I want to create beautiful emotions of love and goodness. Feel you're in your head now. And say, I want all my thoughts to be under my control and not to serve my emotions. I want to use my thoughts to make a better life for my personality. I want to create thoughts of clarity and wisdom. And now say the most important request. I want to know more about myself as a personality and as a soul. I want to know more about myself as a personality and as a soul. Now begin to leave your sanctuary. See it dissolve before you. And you return to deep space. You can return to your sanctuary whenever you like. Now begin to head back to Earth. Through deep space, past the planets, above the world, through the atmosphere, above your country, above your building, into your room, and now into your body. Feel your entire body and see it covered in a shining white light. From your heart center, see rays of beautiful rosy light spreading all around you. And now say, no hostile feelings or thoughts from others may enter my personality and affect me. And now beginning to bring your attention back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.